February 1945. A small volcanic island in the Pacific Ocean, barely 8 square miles of black volcanic ash and sulfur steam, sits directly in the path of the American advance toward Japan. Above it rises Mount Suribachi, an extinct volcano turned into a fortress. Beneath it, more than 20,000 Japanese soldiers wait in a network of tunnels carved through solid volcanic rock, over 11 miles of them. No reinforcements are coming. No evacuation is planned. Every man in this garrison already knows how this ends. Their orders are not to win. Their orders are to make every yard of this island cost as much as possible. For years, Japanese defense doctrine on Pacific Islands had meant one thing above all: a final, desperate charge into the open, all or nothing, usually ending in near total loss for very little military gain. The garrison's commander refuses to fight that way here. Instead, he orders something almost unheard of: dig in, stay hidden, and make the enemy bleed for every meter, from positions the enemy cannot even see. For weeks, the island is bombarded from sea and air, almost without pause, one of the heaviest bombardments of the entire Pacific War. From the surface, it looks as though nothing could possibly survive. Underground, the defenders simply wait. They do not fire back. They do not reveal a single position. On February 19th, the first waves of United States Marines land on black volcanic sand beaches under an eerie silence. For a few minutes, it seems the bombardment has done its work. Then, the island opens fire. Hidden machine guns, mortars, and artillery, most of them never spotted from the air, turn the beach into a killing ground. Landing craft are hit before they even reach the sand. Marines pinned in volcanic ash that swallows their boots find there is nowhere on this beach that isn't already targeted by a gun they cannot see. It is one of the deadliest days United States Marines will face in the entire war, and the fighting has barely begun. Within 5 days, after brutal close quarters fighting up its slopes, Mount Suribachi falls, and a small group of Marines raises a flag at its summit, a photograph that will become one of the most famous images of the war. But Suribachi was never the real defense. The real fight is still ahead, in the tunnels and ridgelines to the north, where thousands of defenders remain, completely cut off, completely without hope of rescue, and still fighting exactly as ordered. What follows is more than a month of some of the most brutal fighting of the Pacific War. Tunnel after tunnel, position after position, often just to advance a few dozen meters a day. By mid-March, there is almost nowhere left on the island the defenders control. Ammunition, food, and water are almost entirely gone. There is no possibility of retreat, and there never was. In these final days, the garrison's commander sends his last messages by radio back to Japan, along with a short farewell poem, in the old tradition of a soldier facing certain death, apologizing that the island could not be held any longer. In the last tunnels, the remaining defenders make their final stand exactly where they have fought for weeks, underground, in the dark. By the time organized resistance ends, of the more than 20,000 men who began the battle in these tunnels, almost none remain alive. It is one of the highest casualty rates suffered by any garrison on either side in the entire Pacific War. The cost on the other side is staggering too. More American Marines become casualties on this 8-square-mile island than in almost any other single battle of the war. Both sides pay a price that neither side's planners had fully imagined. Decades later, veterans who once faced each other across these same volcanic ridges return to the island together, American and Japanese survivors, meeting not as enemies but as old men who remember exactly what this ground cost on both sides. Today, memorials from both nations stand side by side on Iwo Jima, and the tunnels the defenders dug still run beneath the island's black sand, silent and empty. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe. Every week we bring you the small battles history almost forgot. Next episode, 1939. A Finnish force, a fraction the size of the army in front of them, 40 degrees below zero, and a forest road about to become a graveyard for an entire Soviet division. The Battle of Suomussalmi.